At Vail Resorts, safety is our top priority, and we are dedicated to making the lift riding experience both safe and enjoyable for our guests. This video will provide you with some important guidelines to follow when you're loading and unloading children at our lifts. Here are 5 key points you need to remember when loading kids on lifts. Communicate with guests and employees prior to loading to determine what assistance they require. Assist each child onto the chair using the technique appropriate to the chairlift you are working. Assist each child with lowering the bar. Look up the line to check if guests are seated properly. Engage a normal stop if there are any concerns during the loading process. Communication is critical in the loading process. Talk to the guests and instructors prior to loading and determine what assistance you can provide them. Coordinating with the guests and other employees in the load area is critical to a successful load. Start by scanning and assessing the maze. Anticipate if there are children that may need assistance or require being paired with an adult. Consider the child's height, ability to reach the bar, behavior in the maze, ability in moving through the maze, and prior experience in the maze. Based on these criteria, if you feel that a child shouldn't ride the lift alone, do not load that child. Remove the child from the loading ramp, engaging a stop if necessary, and find an adult that is comfortable riding with the child. Employees are a great resource to ride with children. Use them to your advantage if they are available. After getting the child paired with an adult, assist the group from the wait here point to the load here point. Start by lining the group up at the wait here point. Wait for the next chair to pass in front and follow behind it to the load here point.
And then we're gonna shuffle up to the blue line, okay?
It can help if you encourage the children to shuffle their feet.
Shuffle those feet.
Slow the lift if riders ask you to, or if it is clear that the riders will not be able to properly load the lift at normal speed.
Can we get a slow speed, please? And can I get assistance with Addie on my left?
When the chair arrives, assist the child onto the seat. The type of chairlift you are working will determine your loading technique. On fixed grip lifts, load the child from the side of the chair. On detachable lifts, use the pullback technique to pull the child in from behind the chair. Once loaded, the child should be all the way into the seat so they will not become unseated as the chair leaves the loading area. Even if the child's parent or guardian tells you the child can get into the chair without help, continue to watch very closely and assist if the need arises. On chairlifts that have bars, remind both adults and children to lower the bar. Assist with lowering the bar if necessary. As the chair is leaving the load area, look up the line to see if everyone is seated properly. Engage a normal stop if there are any concerns during the loading process. We would much rather have you engage a stop if there is a chance that guests are unseated than to have an issue when they are further up the line. We have very clear requirements for chairlift riding with 3 to 6-year-old students in ski school. These students will need your special attention when loading and unloading our chairs. 3 to 6-year-old ski school students wear brightly colored vests or bibs, some with a handle on the back that make them more identifiable. Use the handle to your benefit when loading them onto the chair. When the instructor is unable to ride with these students, they will be paired with other employees or adults from the maze. If something goes wrong during the loading process, don't let the child load the lift alone. When appropriate, engage a normal stop so the child can be paired with an adult rider or be removed from the chair in the load area and loaded on the next chair with an adult. Helping children unload at the top is just as important as safely loading them at the bottom. The top operator should be outside waiting for 3 to 6-year-old students and small children in the event assistance is required. The top operator should be actively engaged in encouraging children to unload at the proper point on the ramp and letting them know to completely clear the unload area to wait for their instructor. If anyone fails to unload or properly clear the ramp, stop the lift using a normal stop and assist as necessary. Remember the 5 keys to successfully loading kids on lifts. Communicate with guests and employees prior to loading to determine what assistance they require. Assist each child onto the chair using the technique appropriate to the chairlift you are working. Assist each child with lowering the bar. Look up the line to check if guests are seated properly. Engage a normal stop if there are any concerns during the loading process. Loading and unloading children from your lift is a big responsibility, and maintaining our guests' safety is paramount. Thank you, and have a great winter.